1611, the Bible was not readily able to be translated.
Okay, who translated?
Hold on. Let me finish my thought, right? The Pope, the papacy had the papacy control. Right? Hold on. I'm trying to explain something. I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to explain the point. I'm just explaining the point. So the Bible wasn't able to be readily translated. Free transmission of the Bible was not allowed. It was controlled by the Pope. King James separated from the Roman Catholic, and he authorized the translation of the scriptures. Why? Because he had that authority. The Pope can't go and kill a king. You understand that? So he was able to translate after the 1611. So King James, despite the fact he might have had slaves, that bears no bearing to what was translated. All right. What does that have to do with what's written here?
What Pope wrote it? Because how many different popes?
There's no popes didn't write this Bible.
Okay, you said the Pope translated.
The papacy had a monopoly on who was able to translate the Bible. They had a monopoly. They was controlling who was able to
church.
The Pope. Yes.
They were controlling the church. So now you're going into politics.
I'm not going into politics. I'm just giving you a history of why King James translated the Bible.
I'm just telling you about
Okay.
Brad, I want to run with y'all. I do. I want to be on this squad.
Okay.
Okay.
All praises. We trying to give you understanding.
I got belief. So I'm like, okay.
You got 76. So this is what God said we are.
Read not the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So God said we're a holy people unto. He didn't say Baptist, right?
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
So he chose us to be a special people to him.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So that verse right there, right? Above all people of the face of the earth. So the Israelites, according to God, is above all people. So when you have all these denominations say everyone is able to come, that contradicts what the Bible is saying, because the Bible says the Israelites are separate from everybody else.
Everybody can't be saved.
All praises. He literally was teaching the same thing 5 minutes ago. Right? So we understand that. We come out here and we teach our people. Now you have questions. You seem like you have a lot of questions about, the different churches. We're telling you that there's no truth in the church, right? Give me Colossians 2:8, right? Right? We're teaching you that there's no, because what happened is they took our records and they put, give me that in the, where they opened the book. No, they translated it. They translated it into their language, and they tried to. Look, I want to show you something what the Bible said.
Big brother, this is all I'm gonna say. I got a hard belief what they wrote on the wall. Who can still read that, bro? And then they put it in a book.
Well, they didn't. The Bible wasn't written on wall. The Bible was written on papyrus and parchment paper, not on walls. The walls is the Egyptians.
But who can read that language? What people we have on this land right now?
Well, the transmission of the Bible is a different topic altogether. Right. Because eventually, what you find out is that parchment and papyrus paper they biodegrade, right? They break down after a certain amount of time. So the Bible actually is a series of translations. Somebody writing it, and then after a certain amount of time, write it again. Well, we just told you King James authorized the translation.
I'm telling you, and who is King James?
Right?
What King James known for, bro?
King James is what you're
going for the homosexuality.
Yes,
that's what
I knew that.
I knew that. Hold on.
Give me. Hey, listen.
I got
I didn't want you to say it because I wanted you to bring that.
Hold on, brother. Calm down. Give me a minute. Back up just a little bit. You get a scripture up. But what I want to tell you about King James and homosexuality, this is what happened. It was a white man called William Weldon. He was kicked out of the parliament because he was going against King James. He's part of the protesters the Protestant word, the protesters coming into trying to take the black rulership of King James down. Okay? So wait a minute, let me finish. Now the homosexual part is a blatant lie. And guess when it was said? King James died like in 1635. Now his son, King Charles II, what they call him, you can look this up, his name was the Black Boy King. He was King James's son. He became king when King James died. Now this William Weldon guy, he did not bring that propaganda of James being a homosexual until after they beheaded King Charles in 1637. So after 16, that's what we do. So after 1637, it was rumored that he was a homosexual, but all of that was a lie. Because guess what? If William Weldon would have said that when King James was alive, or when his son King Charles would have been alive, they'd have beheaded him. Yep. They'd have beheaded him. Because see, after King James was beheaded, that's when the whites came into power. Because we are the original Anglo-Saxons. We are the original, think about what I'm saying. We are the original Anglo-Saxons, which means the angelic son of Isaac. The whites call themselves WASP, White Anglo-Saxon Protestants, because they protested the royal rulership of the Britons, not the British that's in there now. So King James, from today forward, King James never was a homosexual. He never was a sodomite. He never was bisexual. All right?
Bro, I can sit here with y'all all day.
Watch this.
Right? Can I speak? Listen, can I speak?
Go ahead, brother.
What broke the strongest empire in the world?
What do you mean?
The Roman Empire.
I mean, there's many different things, but I know what you're saying is Hannibal basically.
Homosexuality.
You're
talking about homosexual.
But I want to show you something, right? If King James was a homosexual, and you say that he authorized or he wrote, you said he wrote, but
he translated. Y'all say he translated.
He translated.
Okay,
He
so
translated.
why would you?
All right, it's rules
So let's see if he was homosexual. Let's see.
Put this in there.
He wrote it.
Really?
He translated it.
Hold on. Listen. If he wrote it or translated it, right? Let's see why he left this in.
Read not the book of Jude, verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire.
So why is he saying that the people of Sodom and Gomorrah are an example for going after strange flesh? If he was a sodomite,
why would he say?
If he wrote that, let's deal with the right. He didn't write it. Obviously, he didn't write that.
He translated.
He authorized it. He didn't translate it himself. He authorized. If anybody have the 1611, it actually tells you how he commissioned 48 translators, 13 for the Apocrypha. They break it down who translated it, right? So this shows that, let's just say for your argument's sake that he was a sodomite, right? Let's just say for it, then wouldn't that make it even more valid that he was being honest with his translation, that he didn't take that out?
That's a fact.
Because brother, but you said
listen,
right?
Bro,
get Leviticus 20:13.
Yeah, get Leviticus. That's exactly what I wanted.
I can go back and forth with you all day because my oldest brothers and them. You understand? I fight this nigga.
Muslim.
You Muslim?
No, we're not. We're not Muslims. None of us here are Muslims. We're Israelites. We're Israelites.
True God.
You need to come on this side, brother.
Bruh, I want to stand on this square.
So what you need to do is take our information and
stand on this rectangle and stuff.
Right?
Stand on the square.
Tell me what you said, bro.
Stand on this rectangle right here and stuff.
2013.
Rectangle.
Reading out of the book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death.
So if King James was a sodomite, when his translators saw this, when he saw his translators write that, what was he supposed to do, right?
Kill him.
Kill him, right?
Take his head off.
But yep, I just read the highlight. this is how the Bible that we have, right? The King James Bible is by far and away the greatest selling book of all time. In fact,
That's the
hold on. I want you to hear
and
something
the
too.
easiest book to put down.
I want you to hear something, right? The Bible, KJV, is such a great seller that they take it off the list because even to this year, it would still be the #1 bestseller. Right? So,
book, it's the hardest book to pick up, but the easiest book to put down.
So we want to show you how it was. We want to show you how it was translated.
King James Version, 47 of the best Hebrew Greek scholars of the day were divided into 6 groups. 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New, and 1 for the Apocrypha. 2 of the groups met at Oxford, 2 at Cambridge, and 2 at Westminster.
So I just want you to understand this. They separated it into 3 different groups for Old Testament, New Testament.
In the books they took out.
And and the Apocrypha, yeah. They took out the Apocrypha. The Protestant church took. But if you get a Roman Catholic Bible as well as a KJV 1611, you'll find all those books within it, right? But that's beyond the point. So he separated them to translate it. 1 in Westminster, 1 in Oxford. Go on.
When a group had completed its task, its work was submitted to 12 men.
Disciples.
No, they're not disciples. So these are the men that are working on the scriptures. 2 from each panel. Final differences of opinion were settled at a general meeting of each company. In cases of special difficulty, learned men outside the board of revisers were consulted.
So even after those 47 men, whenever they came upon a conflicting issue in translating it, they had learned men who was aside from that board come in to give them the understanding of what it is.
I'm gonna finish up, King. Marginal notes were used only to explain Hebrew and Greek words to draw attention to parallel passages.
And you know, if you look at a 1611 Bible, this is why I would stand on it that it's the greatest translation of the Bible, because you will literally see those notes where they put within those notes alternate translations of what was written. So it shows the integrity of the people that was translating this, because they could have just ran with what they felt was best.
Italics were used for words not found in the original, but necessary to complete the sense.
And exactly, so if you look in the KJV, especially in 1611, and you see italicized words, that means those words wasn't, they let you even know that it wasn't in the manuscript. But what they did was they put it in there so that it makes sense in our language, right? Because if you speak Spanish, I'm gonna give you an example, right? Do you know how you say I'm hungry in Spanish? Te hambre. But you know, tengo hambre, right? I have hunger. But tengo hambre. But if you translate that literally in English, it doesn't say I'm hungry, it says I have hunger. But it doesn't, so they italicize it to let you understand the words, give a meaning.
I respect what y'all do. I'm not a spiritual person. Let me fix this. I'm not a religious person.
We're not religious person, bro.
I'm a spiritual person. I know it's a higher power.
All praises.
I'm looking for the higher power.
But what can, so do you think, now this is great, right? Because now we can actually have a biblical conversation, right? So, do you think this higher power, you believe he exists? Do you think this higher power has specific wants and desires for people?
That's what he put. That's why he died. He died for us, right?
Well, Christ is a high power, but he's not the most high power.
Listen,
that's why there's
my mountain is this flesh.
Okay.
This flesh. My soul is deeper than what you see.
Absolutely.
It's my soul.
Absolutely.
I know I can do shit.
Absolutely.
I know I can do shit. Like how y'all changing people lives, I can do the same shit.
That's why you need to come and get the knowledge and get built up.
Fellas, brother. I want to see y'all be out here all the time.
Hey, there's no shame.
Give me this up. You know your nationality, though?
What's your nationality?
I know I'm from the motherland.
The motherland. What's the motherland?
Egypt.
Egypt.
I'm not African American. If a motherfucker said you put on the application African American, I'm glad you know that.
Well, you know Africa. Where that name Africa comes from.
Shit, I'm probably from over here. to break down your
right? You have to understand, right? That
that's my genealogy right there.
look where the motherland is.
Read not the book of Galatians chapter 4 verse 26.
Bring it out.
But Jerusalem.
No, Africa.
But Jerusalem.
Not America.
But Jerusalem.
Where?
Jerusalem.
That's right.
Which is above is free.
Jerusalem is the free land. Go on.
Which is the mother of us all.
Which is the mother of us all, above Africa, right?
They go Jews.
Absolutely, absolutely, we're the Jews. Absolutely, we're the Jews. Specific.
Excuse me, Pete. One thing I gotta say is all this ain't right exactly. When you said you believe in the higher power, who you think created this wind we feel right now? You already know, right?
Hey, I just want
that shit go all the time.
Hey, brother, I just want you to understand, right? Because you said something powerful. You said you know that there's a higher power, right? But you gotta understand that the higher power. Give me Deuteronomy 12 and 10. The higher power, he got requirements. We can't just.
I know. We gotta live by the law.
So if you
it belongs to the land, bro. I ain't no idiot.
But tell me what's the law of the land? Like how long, for example, how long should you grow your crops and pick the fruit every year?
I'm from the south. I know around October, November, it's harvest.
That's harvest season. Okay.
That's Christmas.
Okay.
All that shit in December don't mean a dick ass thing, bro. That shit don't mean nothing.
Okay.
Easter, that don't mean shit.
Nothing. Absolutely.
All them are pagan days.
Exactly.
I know this, man.
All of them. But see, you said the law of the land, right?
And then when you tithing, you ain't gotta get no money. You get your crop.
It's supposed to be your crops, but it's supposed to be your crops. But the Bible makes account.
What is it? 10%?
10% of your increase, right? But the Bible makes account for in case you live far, so you're able to turn your crops into money, and then when you get to the temple, you buy back the crops, right? But I just want to show.
You just said but.
I just want to show.
Say but and or.
Well, those are parts of speeches to continue a conversation.
Yes, but
but you just said but.
Come on now.
Right? Look, I just want you to see that the Most High do have instructions and requirements for you.
Read not the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12.
Bring it out.
And now Israel.
And now Israel, because that's you. You said we're the real Jews. That's right. Judah is one of the 12 tribes. So now Israel.
What doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
What do God require of you?
Stay away from pork.
But
hold on.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
But to fear the Lord thy God. Give me 1 John 3 and 4, Salaki.
To walk in all his ways.
To walk in all his ways.
And to love him.
And to love him. Now, how can you love God?
You gotta fear. I gotta fear my God. That's the only individual I gotta fear.
You see, you can't love God. Like, you have kids? You have children? So when your daughter call you in the middle of the night, you show your love by answering that phone, right? It might not be convenient, but you'll show that love, right? But can you do that to God? Can you cash out God $20? Can you give God a pat on the back and say, you had a long day, God? No.
How can you love somebody if you don't hate them? When a motherfucker tell me they hate me, I know they love me.
Look, we'll show you how you love God.
You have some hate for me. How in the hell can you hate me if you ain't got no love for me, bro? If you ain't never loved me, how can you say you hate me?
That's right.
This is love.
But this is, this is the love of God.
2 and 6. 1 John 2 and 7.
Bro, I go back and say John.
Look. This is how you love God.
1 John 5 and 3. For this is the
Want
love
me to
of
read it?
God.
I read it.
You want to read it?
Go ahead, bring it up. Read it.
5 and 3. 3 from 5?
Nah, just 3.
For this is the love of God.
So this is the love of God.
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments.
And
Real
his
simple.
commandments are not grievous.
Real simple, right? Real simple. How you show God you love him.
That's how you show him. Keep his commandments.
Keep his commandments. All praise. All praise.
Y'all be easy.
You too, brother.
Y'all be easy. I appreciate
Zach,
that, man.
right, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, so all praises. Oh, this is tough. Just
Okay, brother. Thanks for stopping by, though. You know what I mean?
all praises on. Can you get me on Job 18, start at 5, right? Give me Jeremiah 28 and 8. Right? Once again, we're going to reset. We the Hebrew Israelites, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We come out week in and week out to tell our people to repent, for the end is near. America is about to be destroyed. We see bricks forming. We see wars, rumors of war. The Russia and Ukraine war has been dragging on, right? Soon, NATO and BRICS are going to get full-on engagement in it. We're telling our people to repent, right? Bring that up first.
Reading out of the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
And we're not going to do anything different. We're not going to come out here and tell you, if we all hold hands and pray and sing Kumbaya, America is going to last for another 500 years. No, we're telling you that war and pestilence and destruction is coming to this place, right?
Reading out the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 5. Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out.
And the Most High is saying that the light of this wicked nation is going to be put out, right? Because on this country, in the 400 years that we've been here, you've seen nothing but rape, rob, murder, destitution, just the complete destruction of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, right? So we're saying that the light in this world, in this country, is going to be put out. Go on.
And the sparks of his fire shall not shine.
And soon there's not going to be all this bright lights and everything in America that everybody seems to want to come to.
The light shall be dark in his tabernacle.
All the lights in the tabernacles of the wicked are going to be dark.
And his candles shall be put out with him.
And everything, we're prophesying the complete and utter destruction of America.
Verse 7, the steps of his strength shall be straightened.
Go on.
And his own counsel shall cast them down.
Because right now they're plotting, we don't want to go to war. They don't want to go to war. They're doing their very best to not engage in war. It says, but his counsel is going to cast them down. You know why? Because eventually, when you realize somebody doesn't want war with you, you're just going to keep pressing and pressing and pressing. And America's going to have no choice but to engage in war.
For he is cast into a net by his own feet.
And by his own doing, he put himself in it. He wanted to be the world police. He wanted to be this beacon of morality to the world. He went in Iraq, and remember that very famous scene of him toppling over the statue of Saddam Hussein, right? He wanted to be this. And what did they do? They had that other image with all those soldiers raising the American flag over there, right? Exactly. They dragged Gaddafi through the dirt. They went into his own country in front of his own people, right? That's how his feet has cast his own net. Go on.
And he walketh upon a snare.
And he's walking upon a snare that he set for himself.
The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him.
And if you read in Revelations, it says everybody's going to turn against this man. His same people, his same allies are going to turn against him.
The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way.
Go on.
terror shall make him afraid on every side.
So terror is going to make him afraid on every side. Right now he's got to worry about Ukraine and Russia. He got to worry about North Korea. He got to worry about Iran. He's got to worry about all these different nations plotting war against him.
And shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten.
His strength shall be hunger bitten. Remember, we had this join the most powerful military in the world, right? His strength is going to be hunger bitten. How are you going to feed that? And this is a problem. This is a major problem. When you have this big military, guess what you're forced to do? You're forced to use it because a military has to be fed. How are you going to keep a military if you don't use them? You got to go into another land and conquer their goods. That's right. Go on.
And destruction shall be ready at his side.
And destruction is going to be ready at the side of this devil. Go on.
It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength.
Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. We all know who that is, right? We know that this is talking about who the world calls Christ. We could get that in Colossians, where who's the first to be born after death? Christ. This is talking about. So it's not going to be Russia that's going to destroy America. It's not going to be Iran that destroys America. It's not going to be North Korea that's going to destroy America. It's going to be the firstborn of the dead, who you call Christ, is going to destroy America.
Reading out of the book of Colossians chapter 1 and verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God? The firstborn of every creature.
The firstborn of every creature.
For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers.
So I can jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. And he is the head of the body.
And this is talking about Christ, the firstborn of all creatures. He is the head of the body.
The church, who is the beginning.
He is the beginning, the first creature created by the Most High.
The firstborn from the dead.
That's right.
Bring that back again. Who's going to destroy this man?
Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength.
So the Bible, if we precept this together, we see Christ in Colossians being called the firstborn of the dead, and it's saying the firstborn of the dead is going to destroy him, right? Because, give me Revelations 13 verse 9, and you continue here.
Verse 14, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terror.
Right? So his comfort and his confidence in America and his military is going to do him no good when he has to face Yahawashi. When he has to face, because America's biggest fear is a strong, confident black man.
Right.
Well, guess what? They're going to have to look one right in his eye and account for their sins and transgressions, right? That's why we have to understand who Christ is. Because everybody think that Christ is, the brother over here earlier was saying, God loves the slave and the slave master. That was his problem. Let's see what Christ said about that.
Reading out of the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So Christ is saying, and this is red letter, this is Christ's speech talking. He that lead into captivity
shall go into captivity.
Right? It says, Christ is saying, he that lead into captivity shall go into captivity. So the slave master ain't going to be enjoying the spoils of the kingdom. He's going to be in captivity.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
And Christ said, he that kill with the sword must be killed with the sword. Right? And we can go deeper with this. We can show you that this is talking about prophetically Esau. Right? Because Esau's blessing was he'd live by the sword. So because he had to live by the sword, he's going to die by the sword. Let's get back to this.
verse 15. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his.
He's saying that Christ's judgment is going to dwell in the so-called white man's tabernacle, because this is not his. Right. This is not his home, but he makes other people's home his home. Go on.
Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation.
Brimstone is going to be scattered, and you're going to see falling on you, meteorites falling on you. You know, that's why the scriptures call this place Sodom and Egypt. Why? Because how was Sodom judged? The same way, through brimstone. Go on.
Verse 16. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above all shall his branch be cut off.
And this is prophetically going into Obadiah. You go in there. This is talking about the end of the Edomites, right? The prophet Job prophesies this thing.